When I chose to stay with someone who cheated on me a few times and turned out to be a highly dishonest person, that was one of the most naive, idiotic, painful, and yet formative decisions I have ever made. Luckily for me, her name was not on my mortgage and we didn't have kids. Now, for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know I try not to talk too detailed about my exes. It is not my business to air out their laundry, and I'm not here to gossip or play victim. I do try to focus more on the things that I have done and why I have done them. So yeah, I chose to stay with someone who had been going behind my back. And let me tell you, there was not a time in my life that I was not more wrapped up in anxiety and fear and disconnection and addiction. I had become a shell of a man. Why? Because I sold out on my integrity. Integrity means whole and undivided. So if you make decisions that go against what you believe, decisions that compromise your character, you will divide yourself until there is nothing left. You become worthless. You become impotent. You become incapable of connection. Now, for me, some of the reasons I chose to stay with someone who was unfaithful was, for one, growing up, I witnessed a lot of forgiveness in relationships. And I was also raised with strong biblical principles, so a what would Jesus do mindset further blurred the lines between forgiveness and love. Basically, my definition of love became more about forgiveness than love, and that is a false definition of forgiveness, as forgiveness doesn't mean you continue to stand there and allow someone to repeatedly punch you in the face. The other part of me that held me in that unfaithful relationship was my ego. I couldn't be the one who threw in the towel. I couldn't be the one who wasn't enough, the one who gave up. A man doesn't give up. A real man never gives up. And I had to prove to my ego that this girl would still come back to me, and that meant that I was still better than the other guys. Isn't it crazy how twisted our minds can become and what they try to justify? Now, I've come a long way from the man I was then. Just like most of y'all, I've always preferred to learn the hard way. But looking back, one of the most important realizations is that I knew only a couple of months in that this girl was not right for me. I'd already caught her in a lie and some strange behavior. And I never really felt safe with her. I knew something was wrong, and when I did try to end it, she got so viscerally upset she threw up. So I thought that meant that's how much she cared about me, and I hated how it felt to hurt her, so I decided to stick it out. Far too many of us ignore that gut instinct and pay for it down the road. It's like, as I sold out on my integrity, not only did I invite monsters into my psyche, I also became one in many ways. And let me tell you, it is definitely harder to heal from the things that we have done than the things that have been done to us, because what has been done to us is not a true reflection of our character, but the things that we decide to do really becomes who we are.